Time for game number 2 here at the State Farm Champions Classic at Madison Square Garden here in New York City. Kansas over Michigan State in game 1. And it is the beginning of the final season of the incredible career of Mike Krzyzewski as Duke takes on Kentucky here in game 2. Folks, college basketball is back.
I used to grow up watching this game, and now for me to be playing in it means everything.
It's been my whole life. It's given me a life. It's been my family, my kids.
A lifetime of passion, love, and fulfillment.
We've all been given the gift of basketball.
My life would not be the same if I hadn't picked up that ball.
For these 4 legendary programs, the gift is on display tonight.
The gift of opportunity,
the
ability to meet so many amazing people.
Where the dance begins.
One of the biggest events.
Where the game is celebrated.
I can't wait to get out there, throw on the blue.
Puff out our chest against the other blue bloods.
Where the gift is open.
Makes NCAA tournament.
To make all my teammates better.
Win
the national championship.
The life.
The happiness that it brings.
Education.
Travel around the world.
The joy.
And never work a day in my life.
The gift.
It gives me an opportunity at 74.
Man, I love this sport.
Basketball is awesome, baby, with a capital A.
Welcome to the State Farm Champions Classic. Upcoming our second game between Kentucky and Duke, both ranked in the top 10 preseason. This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster. Julius Randle in the house. All kinds of celebs in the house here at the Garden. R.J. Barrett is here. Of course, a member of the New York Knicks and a guy who played for Mike Krzyzewski and Duke. And hi, everybody. Welcome back inside the Garden. Dan Shulman and Jay Billis. And this guy played for Mike Krzyzewski and Duke way back in the day. This is the beginning of the final year. He has announced his retirement after this year. Tough question, because we only have so much time, but can you reflect a little bit on his career?
Well, first of all, you didn't have to say way back in the day. You could have gotten away with that. Yeah. He's had a remarkable career, and it's unusual in a good way that we have a year to celebrate an amazing career. 5 national championships, 12 Final Fours, 3 Olympic gold medals. He's been as good as anybody who's ever coached this game, or in my judgment has coached any game. But he's going against a formidable opponent in John Calipari in Kentucky. But Mike Krzyzewski has some horses this year, led by Paolo Banchero. He's got a team that can challenge for it all again.
With more on Coach K, let's go to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, this is going to be a celebration of Coach K all year long, and it's starting here tonight in a place that he has played more than any other arena other than Cameron Indoor. The fans have gotten behind Coach K's farewell tour. There's so many people here. They sold out of their allotment of tickets. They sold more tickets than anybody here in this Champions Classic. And when I asked Coach K about playing in this building tonight, the beginning of the end for him, he said, Holly, all I'm going to do is embrace and savor tonight in the Mecca, my favorite building in college basketball other than Cameron Indoor Stadium. And the fans are here to embrace that.
He has certainly coached here a lot, and he has had great success in this building, and he hopes that continues tonight. And he hopes that is a great year for one of the premier freshmen in the nation, Jay and Paolo Banchero.
6'10" out of Seattle, Washington, a McDonald's All-American. He has size, he is strong, and he's very, very skilled. He can rip a rebound and bring it up himself. He can be a pick-and-roll ball handler. When he takes the ball into the middle of the floor, gets into the lane, he's also an excellent passer. Paolo Banchero has to be a star for Duke this year, but he doesn't have to be the only star because he's got some good pieces around him.
John Calipari's got some good pieces down in Lexington. Not as young of a group as we are used to seeing with the Wildcats. This is an older, more mature team with a lot of transfers who have come over to bolster the roster.
A lot of older players. They do have Ty Washington, an excellent freshman who is their leading scorer in their 2 exhibition games, 16.5 points per game. Keon Brooks has vastly improved from last year to this. But I think the most important player for Kentucky in this game is going to be Xavier Wheeler, the transfer from Georgia. He's the one that's going to have to handle all of the ball pressure that's going to be thrown at him. Wheeler's an excellent scorer, a fantastic passer. Kellen Grady has come in from Davidson. He's 24 years old, can really shoot the ball. C.J. Frederick, who has been injured of late, he will be available. is a low error player, hardly ever turns it over, can really shoot it. And then Oscar Tshiebwe, one of the best offensive rebounders in college basketball, transferred in from West Virginia and can really run the floor.
And hopes are high for both programs. The Wildcats picked to win the SEC. The Blue Devils picked to win the ACC. And you and I have never said this before. Both of these iconic programs coming off a year in which they did not make the NCAA tournament. It certainly does not appear that that'll be the case this season.
Well, everyone had to deal with COVID last year, but it did not hit everyone the same. And COVID certainly was a factor for both of these programs, but both Duke and Kentucky vastly improved from last year to this year. I think Duke has a chance to challenge for it all. I think Kentucky is going to be an outstanding team. But one thing about getting so many transfers, they're experienced players, but they're not necessarily experienced together and experienced in the Kentucky system. But I think they will pick it up quickly. But the lights are the brightest here in Madison Square Garden. And we're going to see if they can pick it up during the course of this game.
It is a packed house, and I mean a packed house at Madison Square Garden in New York City. They saw Kansas beat Michigan State in game 1, and now it is time for Kentucky and Duke. And it is hopping in here right now inside the Garden. Brad Stevens is in the house. Mike Dunleavy, former Duke player, great player on some great teams. He is here as well. Coach Tibbs is here. Why wouldn't he be? This is his house. And Obi Toppin is here.
Brother Jacob Toppin plays for Kentucky, transferred in from Rhode Island last year.
Feels like a big game, doesn't it?
I think it is a big game. Anytime you see Duke and Kentucky, I mean, the bluest of blue bloods, this is going to be a battle, and can't wait for them to tip it off.
Kentucky leads the all-time series 12-10, but Duke has won 8 of the last 10 between them. Getting ready for the tip of our Sonic Blockbuster matchup. It is Duke in white. It is Kentucky in blue. Patrick Adams, Lee Cassell, Keith Kimball are the officials tonight. Mark Williams, Oscar Tshiebwe to tip it off. And we can't wait for this one to begin. And the first possession to Duke. Let's take a look now at tonight's Dove Men Plus Care starting lineups, beginning with the Blue Devils. Calo, we have talked about him, another tremendously talented freshman in Trevor Keels, who is out of Clinton, Maryland. An empty first possession, and now back come the Wildcats. Brooks. And Tshiebwe doing what Tshiebwe does, coming down with an offensive rebound, but he can't convert.
Already you can see the athleticism going after rebounds.
Wendell Moore turns it over. Xavier Wheeler behind the back, left it short. The transfer from Georgia, a frenetic pace to begin, and finally the ball goes in the basket. Boy, we had 5 possessions, Jay, in 50 seconds of basketball.
Boy, a spectacular finish. Wendell Moore Jr. has really improved. He's improved his body, much stronger, and I think he'll be a much better player this year for Duke. Now, you mentioned it, Trevor Keels, the freshman, #1 in white. He is a stud. We're going to be calling his name a lot, not only tonight, but all year.
And what a matchup against another great freshman in Ty Washington, #3 for Kentucky. Brooks guarded well by Banchero. Washington has to force it. Offensive rebound, Tshiebwe, and a block for Williams, as each of them does what they do best.
Boy, this has already been a high-level competitive game in the 5 or 6 possessions we have had. And Mark Williams is an elite rim protector. Tshiebwe does such a great job of positioning himself for offensive rebounds. When a shot goes up from the right, he will position himself on the left where it's most likely to come off.
Washington with a floater, and he is fouled. John Calipari in his 13th year at the helm of the Wildcats, and again, it's a different kind of team. It's an older team, as you said. They're still getting to know each other, but he's not having to teach them as many things overall as he would on a team dominated by freshmen.
One of the things he said about having, he says, so many older players, he says you kind of forget, but they're on time.
Right.
You don't have to remind them they have to be on time.
But there are some freshmen, and one of them on the line right now, Ty Washington from Phoenix, who was very good in the 2 preseason games that Kentucky had. Washington knocked down all 6 3-pointers he attempted in the 2 exhibition games.
So far in the ball game, Paolo Banchero being guarded by Keon Brooks Jr.
There's the finish. There's the strength for Trevor Keels. As you said, we'll be calling his name a lot.
He looks like a linebacker. Tough, competitive, and a playmaker. Can play the point, puts it on the deck, and can really shoot it.
And how about the fact that he was high school teammates with Jeremy Roach, who he's now playing with again at Duke. They're a year apart. Tshiebwe gets it to go.
When Tshiebwe didn't go straight up, he was able to avoid that blocked shot attempt by Mark Williams. But that is a big-time pass by Xavier Wheeler.
Wheeler, the transfer from Georgia. Tshiebwe comes from West Virginia. Tshiebwe with a rejection.
Boy, Kentucky looks a lot different in this game than they did against Miles College.
They were down 7 at the half against Miles College, a Division II team, before coming back to win it.
Well, Xavier Wheeler, just a little spin move, and the hesitation, able to get beyond Wendell Moore, and a terrific catch and finish. And then Trevor Keels, that is a big-time finish, goes right into the body of Oscar Tshiebwe to take away that shot blocking ability. You're going to see a lot of that from him.
Banchero, wow, good handle and a soft touch on the 16-footer.
That's a 6'10" guy doing that. I think he's as skilled a 6'10" player as Mike Krzyzewski's had since Danny Ferry played for him.
Were you as skilled a 6'8" player as he's ever had?
No.
Well, that whole Grant Hill thing, you know.
That's the only one.
Yeah. Boy, I don't know how well it comes across on your television screens, but boy, is there electricity in this building right now as these two teams go up and down.
How much did we miss this, having fans in the stands, just the energy for the players to feed off of.
Wheeler getting inside, kicks it out, and it's out of bounds. Kick ball still belongs to Kentucky. Wheeler averaged almost 7.5 assists per game at Georgia last year.
Well, you want to make Wheeler finish at the basket. If he gets by you, you don't want to overhelp where he can find open people. You know, he's only 5'8", 5'9", maybe. And at that size, you want to make him try to finish over a defender instead of giving too much help where he can find an open shooter.
Some subs for Duke. Joey Baker, a senior, is into the game, and also Theo John, a transfer from Marquette. Big body in the middle, number 12 in white. Extra pass, Wheeler finds Kellen Grady, a Davidson transfer. Scored over 2,000 points for Bob McKillop. Washington's got to get a shot off. He does. Boy, and Tshiebwe did well to keep it alive, but it's off him and out of bounds to Duke.
Tshiebwe is always around the ball when it goes up on the glass. It's not that he gets offensive rebounds because he's the superior athlete. He gets it because he's relentless going after the ball and really does a great job positioning himself. A lot of that comes from Bob Huggins, frankly, at West Virginia. You know, Huggins does a great job of teaching rebounders how to position themselves on the weak side.
Banchero posting right now, looking for a touch.
Brooks did a nice job defending that.
Roach, pretty feed to John, and a foul on Tshiebwe, who can't believe it.
Theo John transferred in from Marquette, where he played for Steve Wojciechowski. Another excellent rim protector and rebounder. And this is what he needs. His hands were ready and then goes up to dunk it. Boy, that looked like an awful lot of ball. That's a tough one for Tshiebwe.
Theo John at the line for Duke.
And John at the line for Duke. You can watch a lot of college basketball this year and maybe not see two stronger guys opposing one another than Oscar Tshiebwe and Theo John.
Returning to the game for Duke, number 1, Trevor Keels.
Yeah, those guys can do some damage in the weight room. Yeah. But you know who the strongest player out here may be is Trevor Keels. You know, everybody does these combine things now. Not necessarily pro days, but they work on these combine drills. And Trevor Keels benched 185 pounds 19 times. Wow. That's a record since Duke's been doing that.
A 1-point lead. Keels just checking back into the game now for the Blue Devils. Washington. Another offensive rebound for Tshiebwe.
Nice pass.
Grady. And down with it to Banchero. Some decent looks for Kentucky, but coming up empty. Jacob Toppin, you saw his brother Obi. Jacob is into the game right now for the Wildcats. And did they just get Tshiebwe again? Nope, it's on Toppin as he picks up the foul. 15:36 to go in the first half. Some of Coach K's fondest memories of Madison Square Garden when we come back. And with good reason. He's also been very successful here. Jay's won 75% of his games in this building.
Pretty good. I think the only place around this area that he's got a better record is in the old Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Only lost once in that building.
He has always been so fond of playing games in the greater New York City area. And in fact, this is the 100th game for Duke as a program in the greater New York City area. And how about for Mike Krzyzewski, just as the head coach of Duke? This leaves Army out of it. This is his 1400th game as the head coach at Duke.
I think we may get a text from Jeff Van Gundy saying he played a tougher schedule than Duke did in this building.
Jason Garrett, you saw John Wall, you saw Kevin Knox, Emmanuel Quickly. Boy, they are out tonight to watch Kentucky and Duke.
Boy, how about that move by Paolo Banchero to pick up that foul? You know, he drives it to his left, spins back. Well, he is a strong, skilled, star caliber player. Well, Kentucky has had open shots in this game. They just haven't knocked them down. They're 2 of 10 from the field. But it's not because they haven't received quality looks thus far.
Wheeler finds Toppin. Toppin's role appears to be expanding. John Calipari's been very complimentary to what he has done in practice in the exhibition games in terms of his energy. And it doesn't hurt if he knocks down a 12-foot floater either.
Tough shot and a good find by Xavier Wheeler.
I think you're going to be saying that a lot this year as well. Good find by Xavier
exactly.
Wheeler. Yeah. Jeremy Roach, the reverse, too strong. Rebound Toppin. Here comes Wheeler. Well, you get screened by Tshiebwe. You get screened, but then he misses the flush. Oh, and is he unhappy with himself?
Had it right there. Maybe a little bit of contact, but still Tshiebwe feels he should have finished that. Sets the screen, then rolled hard to the basket. And yeah, there was some contact up there. That could have been called a foul.
Well, you love what Wheeler did there as well. He could have passed it one dribble earlier, but didn't have enough. Theo John made a great play.
I think if he had it to do over again, he might have just lobbed it up to the rim. You know, that open side screen roll action when Tshiebwe rolls hard to the basket. If you lob it up there, it's going to be tough for any defender to get over there and bother that. Bruiser Flint there talking to Oscar Tshiebwe. Bruiser was a heck of a player at St. Joseph's. Played with Jeff Arnold in the backcourt, Mo Martin, Rodney Blake, Bob Lojeski.
And another good team. Another guy who doesn't get older. We see him every year. He looks exactly the same as he did the year before.
I hate those guys.
I know. Ty Washington with Trevor Keels on. 2 really talented freshmen. Tough shot. What a rebound by Roach. Keels for 3.
Duke has so many ball handlers. Shot goes up, nobody able to get a box out, and Wendell Moore just slams it back in.
Williams creates the turnover. He just took it away from Damian Collins. And to your point about ball handlers, the Duke philosophy is anybody 1 through 4 can rip it and go.
Right now, Kentucky's small and thin. Duke needs to attack the basket. So many different players can bring the ball up, but watch, nobody lays a body on Wendell Moore Jr. Just comes in from the left corner, untouched.
Do you expect Wendell Moore Jr. to have a significantly better year? And he had some great moments last year, but he had his ups and downs. Do you expect him to have a significantly better season this year?
Yes, he's more athletic, he's shooting it much better, and far more explosive. And Mike Krzyzewski was saying that, what a play. Wow. Boy, that is just strength right there. You know, Ty Washington is a really good player, and he is not without strength of his own. But Trevor Keels is stronger. I mean, that's just a bully job right in the middle. Just threw right over the top and got fouled, and Ty Washington was the one that hit the deck. Keels didn't even move.
Number 23, Trevor Keels, on the ESPN 100, the Gatorade Player of the Year in Virginia.
We showed Jason Garrett, the offensive coordinator of the New York Giants. You might want to take a look at him, Trevor Keels.
Yeah. Fullback.
I think he could get a few extra yards in short yardage situations.
Yeah, he's probably thinking.
He's thinking it now, isn't
yeah.
he? I like Trevor Keels.
Yeah.
Guys, that's not beyond the realm of possibility, because Mark Vidal, who was on Baylor's national championship team, is now playing in the NFL. So you're joking, but not really.
Yep, there have been a number of basketball players who have turned into, at the college level, who have turned into tight ends at the NFL level. Keels no, and down with a rebound is Toppin, who can sky just like his older brother can. Wheeler, little hesitation. Wow, is that pretty?
Well, he got that up on the glass so quickly that Mark Williams couldn't block it. That was beautiful by Xavier Wheeler. And even though Kentucky has not shot the ball well thus far, they're hanging in there.
Boy, they back off Banchero, but he missed the three. Washington. And now a corner three for Davion Mintz. He stuck around for another year in Lexington. He was, I think, inarguably the most consistent player John Calipari had last season.
Well, he's a leading scorer on last year's team at 56 threes. Good defense by Ty Washington.
So a nice response by Kentucky, but then Duke goes back on top. Keels to Williams.
How well executed was that?
Boy, very few whistles early in the season, but these guys are getting up and down the floor hard.
It's been Final Four intensity from these two Final Four programs.
Wheeler has it knocked away by Moore.
Guys talking to each other a little bit. Not all bad. Good screen by Mark Williams, then rolls right to the basket. And that's what we were talking about a little bit before with Xavier Wheeler and Oscar Tshiebwe. So difficult to defend when the big guy has to guard the ball. To be able to stop the ball and then recover to the roll man on an open side is awfully, that's asking a lot.
Williams in the second half of last season was one of the better big men in the nation. Duke looking for a whole season of that this year. Toppin. Tough turnaround fadeaway. Tshiebwe is there.
He has just got a knack. He follows the ball and always seems to go after it with two hands.
7 rebounds in just over 8 minutes for Oscar Tshiebwe.
Mark Williams down on the low block. They want him in that read spot in the short corner. Good pass.
Banchero.
Kentucky doing a nice job advancing the ball. Even after a made bucket, they pass ahead to get the ball up court quickly. You can't celebrate a dunk very long.
Wheeler will push at every opportunity, but now Kentucky turns it over.
Yeah, that's not Tshiebwe's game. Banchero's like a 6'10" offensive initiator. I mean, he can bring the ball up. He can handle it in pick and rolls. Really impressive.
Roach, floater, tip, follow, Williams.
Tipped it with his right hand, then got to the other side of the basket, tipped it in with his left. Those are some quick feet.
Good job by Banchero to stay down there. Toppin tried to go by him, but couldn't.
There's a high screen in the middle. Good pass.
Grady wide open in the corner. And again, this is a guy coming from Davidson. 4-year player, better than 17 points per game, Jay, as you know, in all 4 seasons for Bob McKillop.
Yeah, 2,000-point scorer. That was just a big-time play. The middle ball screen, flattened it out. And then Xavier Wheeler finding him in the opposite corner, ready to shoot when the ball arrived. Paolo Banchero, the freshman from Seattle, the first McDonald's All-American from Seattle since Quinn Snyder. And look at Mark Williams, right hand, left hand. He's amphibious. Then Kellen Grady after the great find by Wheeler.
Not
That's just beautiful. Watson comes in as a McDonald's All-American with length and athleticism. UCLA has everybody back. The boss.
The boss is in the house. Now he's masked up and all. I wonder if the people around him know they're sitting near the boss.
Well, they know now after we just wanted him.
Dan Schulman, Jay Billis, Holly Rowe. 19-18 Duke. Kansas with a win over Michigan State in the first game of the State Farm Champions Classic.
Kentucky 3 of 5 from three-point range, and that's really an emphasis for Duke in this game. Don't allow catch and shoot threes. Want to keep Kentucky out of transition as best you can, but force them to put it on the deck without catch and shoot opportunities.
Wow, what a screen by John on Wheeler. It frees up Moore for a jumper.
Different player, isn't he? That's 3 for 3 now in this ball game. 6 points for Wendell Moore, and he is in complete control of what he is doing both offensively and defensively. He has really matured from last year to this year.
And the Duke coaching staff will tell you he'll get a lot of ball handling responsibilities, even with Roach, even with Keels, that Moore's going to play all over the place on the perimeter.
Well, he can bring the ball up and essentially initiate as a point guard. That allows Jeremy Roach, Trevor Keels, then they can play off the ball a little bit instead of getting it back and having to make a play. Good screen by Theo John, and instead of blasting right off that screen, just played it with great pace.
Let's go to Holly.
So guys, Wendell Moore told me this week that he is really taking ownership of this team. He's one of the team captains. He said, I want this year to be special, and that starts with me. His goal for the season is actually to be the best on-ball defender in the country. He said he's been working with Trey and Tyus Jones to get good video to see what he can do to be the best defender he can be. And he said the team mantra is to be the best defensive team in the country, but I think his offense is doing just okay too.
You know, one of the differences in Wendell Moore Jr. is Duke kind of changed the way he runs this year. He tended to walk with his toes out a little bit, and they did a lot of work with him. He's become much more explosive, much more athletic with changing the way he runs. Did a lot of off-season work on that.
Great defense there by Theo John down in the paint. Again, John and Oscar Tshiebwe got to be 2 of the strongest big guys in the country, and they are matched up with one another right now. Joey Baker, known more as a shooter, gets inside, follows his miss, and then gets called for a foul.
You know, Kentucky has really competed on the defensive end in this ball game. They're doing a good job guarding the ball, and then after the initial dribble, they're not giving up on the drive. You know, they're forcing Duke to pick it up, and then they've stayed with perimeter players and not over-helping.
Jalen Blake's into the game for the first time for Duke, a freshman from Somerset, New Jersey.
Jalen Blake returns for Duke.
Bryce Hopkins is in the game, Jay, for Kentucky, a 6'6" freshman, number 23 from Oak Park, Illinois. Another big, strong guy, physically mature for a freshman, and that's him. A little bit strong, and guess who gets the rebound? Who else but Tshiebwe?
That's his 6th offensive rebound. That's helping to keep Kentucky just a possession down, now just a point down. because extra possessions that Oscar Tshiebwe is getting the Wildcats.
Boy, that's pretty good combination of strength and body control on that drive by Ty Washington.
Washington's a player, man. He can shoot it, drive it, and they want to get him the ball more when he can be in situations where he can take on a one-on-one opportunity. Boy, good defense to stop that drive by Roach. Washington.
Turnaround, Moore. Boy, is he having a night. Moore now with 8. He hasn't missed a shot. Washington for 3. Well, Tshiebwe almost had another one, but that was Moore who came down and knocked it out of bounds. It is a 3-point lead for Duke with 7:53 to go in the first half here at the Garden. A lot of connections between UK and the Knicks. We'll tell you about it. Well, the Wildcats got to New York a little bit early. They came in on Sunday to watch the Knicks game. Why would that be of particular interest to them? Well, check out the number of connections between Kentucky and the New York Knicks. Fans of either team are aware of this, but Kevin Knox, Nerlens Noel, Emmanuel Quickley, Julius Randle all went to Kentucky. Of course, R.J. Barrett, who played at Duke, is a New York Knick as well. Obi Toppin plays for the Knicks. Brother Jacob is on the Kentucky team. Derrick Rose played for Coach Cal. Kenny Payne, an assistant. So a lot of connections between these two programs, especially Kentucky and the Knicks. We showed you some of the stars, some of the current NBA players who used to spend some time in Lexington. You know what? Even when guys go on to the pros, they love coming back and supporting where they played in college, even if it was just for 1 year. It's always in them. Whether you're a part of the La Familia or the Brotherhood, right? It stays with you forever. Boy, Brooks had to alter that shot, and now a whistle.
Late call, but I think the right one.
Tshiebwe the foul, and that is his second. And needless to say, that is a big loss for Kentucky. Tshiebwe with 8 rebounds, 7 of them at the offensive end.
Well, he has really kept Kentucky in this in a lot of ways. The Wildcats have not been shooting the ball particularly well, but only a possession down because of the second chance opportunities that Tshiebwe has created. Little horn set up top.
Moore with a nice find to Keels, misses the corner 3. Wheeler always looking to push.
Love the way he passes ahead. Well, a good job by Keels to keep Wheeler in front.
Wheeler still probing. Has it knocked away a couple of times, and finally it belongs to Duke. Or does it? Yes, it does. Roach lays it in.
Well, one thing you cannot do when that ball is loose is bend down to try to get it. You got to dive on that thing and get possession.
Wheeler, not known as a long-range shooter, only shot 22% from beyond the arc last season, but reportedly spent a ton of time in the offseason working on it.
He's got to make those open opportunities because defenders on ball screen action, they're going to go under. But when he gets an open opportunity, he can stretch you if he can start making that. Really smart play. Duke had Wendell Moore in the corner with Wheeler on him. They just isolated Moore down in the low post. Now this ball loose in Kentucky. Now Wheeler gets on it, but everybody kind of bending over for it. And Duke winds up with it. Everybody was close, but Jeremy Roach ultimately came up with it. And Wheeler, if he gets open, you know, they're going to play off him. If he can knock this down, then you got to play him honest. And he can use his speed to get past you. That last play, Wheeler was guarding Moore. And Coach K saw it and went right to a little play they have with Moore in the corner, and then they just duck him in and try to lock down Wheeler one-on-one in the post.
Moore now a junior out of Charlotte. And again, one of the most versatile players you will see at the college level in terms of the positions he can guard and the different kinds of things he can do offensively. He's on Davion Mintz right now. Lance Ware, number 55, on the floor for Kentucky. Over the top to him, and good anticipation there by Banchero to knock it out of bounds.
Yeah, we've seen that open side pick and roll when Ware rolled to the basket. That was really good anticipation and help defense by Banchero to come over and knock that ball away.
Mintz way too long on that corner three. And again, Banchero, we've seen this 3 or 4 times tonight, leading the offense up the court. Roach is fouled underneath. I got some NBA coming your way. The top 2 picks of the draft this past year, Cade Cunningham and Jalen Green, as the Pistons take on the Rockets tomorrow night. And then it'll be the Heat and the Lakers in the late game. Our coverage starts with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern.
Choose 1 and 1.
Some good luck for the Knicks to be off and home so that they can come and watch, whether it's the number of players who went to Kentucky or R.J. Baird who went to Duke, to come out and support the place they used to play. We'll be watching little brother Jacob. Second foul, meanwhile, on Mark Williams. That is a loss for Duke.
Replaces Mark Williams.
Kentucky calling a play they call elbow. Try to get a little wide pin down, then the ball goes to Lance Ware at the elbow. They'll play off that. Where the ball pressure by Duke has been excellent.
Wheeler guarded by Moore. Can't shake him. Brooks misses the 3. By all accounts, Keon Brooks has come back. Has had a great offseason, has worked on his shot, and big things are expected out of Brooks this year in Lexington.
Well, he knocked down shots left and right against Kentucky Wesleyan in their first exhibition.
Foul on Theo John as he and Ware got tangled up.
Yeah, the game's getting physical. It's been physical since the opening tap, but clean physical.
And they're talking it over right now as well. Theo John is a paint protector in a different kind of way than Mark Williams is. Both of them are great shot blockers.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is Theo John's a lane protector and Mark Williams is a rim protector.
Ware misses on the follow, and now Duke looking to run.
Boy, what an easy opportunity. That's deflating.
And Banchero with a full head of steam. He draws the foul.
It is tough to stop 6'10" and athletic when it gets up ahead of steam and is as skilled with the ball as Paolo Banchero. Little stutter step. That's a tough one. I don't know. He looked like he was in pretty decent position there.
So Banchero at the line. Ranked 4th in the ESPN 100 coming into the season. Let's get some more now from Holly.
Well, I really love, as good as he is, and he is as good as advertised. He's been a blast to watch tonight, but Banchero gets a lot of his basketball IQ and acumen from his mom. Rhonda Smith was a terrific player for Washington. She's in the Huskies Ring of Honor in Seattle. She played in the WNBA and the ABL, and so he gets a lot of that basketball love from mom, and I just love that he's showing her, making her proud here tonight.
That's great stuff, Holly. Thank you very much. She is flying up and down the court. As Jay said, how many guys at 6'10", 250 can get up and down the court, even with the ball, like Banchero can? Wide left there for Wheeler.
Yeah, pull-up jumper under pressure from Jeremy Roach. That is not the shot that Kentucky wants.
Timeout, Duke.
And a timeout taken by Mike Krzyzewski. 4-point lead, Duke, 4:39 to go, first half. Well, we have talked about it. It has been pretty intense, pretty heated. Roach calling a timeout, and then after the whistle, got a little tangled up with Ware and kind of lobbed the ball back at the chest of Ware, and that's kind of 50-50, Jay, as to whether that tends to get assessed as a technical foul.
Yeah, I mean, I do like whether it was done by a Kentucky player or Duke player in this level of game. You know, it's good to talk to the players about it, let them know, hey, enough of that. I don't like calling it technical at this point, but it has been getting a little chippy. Players are talking, and the referees need to pay attention to it.
The referees are talking to assistant coaches, head coaches, players on the court. It certainly doesn't feel like the 9th of November, does it, with the intensity that these two teams have had tonight?
See, now the referees are going to talk to the players about it, and then it'll be over. It's a good way to handle it.
So no harm, no foul, so to speak, and back to the action with Duke up by 4. 4:39 to go in the half. Roach the kick, Banchero. Good close out there by Brooks. How about that? Wow. 6'10", freshman.
He's a star.
And he appears, and we've seen it a few times tonight, Jay, you can take away what he wants to do, and he can do something else.
Well, he's just got unbelievable skill for his size.
So does Sabir Wheeler. Different size, but unbelievable skill for his size.
Well, Kentucky has taken a lot of punches in this game, and they keep coming back. You know, they are, I would say they are hanging in there, because Kentucky has not shot the ball well, or at least as well as they expect to shoot it. This is a good shooting team. Last year it was not. This year it is.
In his collegiate debut, Paulo Banchero looking like he belongs and more. He's already got 10 points tonight to lead all scores. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Sonic Garlic Butter Bacon Burger. For a limited time, only at Sonic.
West Virginia transfer Oscar Tshiebwe is on the bench now with 2 fouls. John Calipari not wanting to risk him picking up a third, but this is the value of Tshiebwe on the offensive end. Tough shot, but he can go get that offensive rebound. It's one thing to lay a body on him, but you're not going to stop him from going to the rim. And Trevor Keel's trying to box him out. He's got inside position, but Tshiebwe still grabs it with 2 hands, gets an extra possession for Kentucky. 7 offensive rebounds in the first half for Oscar Tshiebwe. 11 offensive rebounds overall for Kentucky. In fact, Kentucky has more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds in this game.
And he had an opportunity to be with the program in the second semester last year because he transferred to midseason, and he just gives them an incredibly physical presence down low defensively and on the offensive glass. He'll score some, but that's not what they need out of him the most. He'll just control the rim at both ends of the floor.
And he can really run. He had one of the best 3/4 court sprints on this Kentucky team. I think he was second at 3.2 seconds, so he can change ends.
Banchero already with 11 points in his first game for Duke.
It's been an effortless 11, soon to be 12 if he knocks this down.
No announcer jinx. Congrats.
Yeah, hey, I'm getting better. I said if. Yeah, maybe that was it.
Yeah. Washington guarded by Keels.
Kentucky really trying to spread the floor more. Good pass.
And Toppin with a good baseline cut, lays it in.
And he made himself available, came from the right side of the lane to the left. And that was a great delivery by Wheeler.
Well, we talked about it, Jay. Jacob Toppin has really impressed John Calipari through the preseason and the exhibition games, and he is making a determined bid for a much larger role in the Wildcat frontcourt.
Well, he's athletic, got good length. Brother's a pretty good player, too.
Yeah, and he's in the house watching him tonight. How about Keels? What a night he's having.
Well, he shoots it, drives it, and that is an NBA body. NFL body.
What a pass as Wheeler finds Grady, and Grady finds the bottom of the net.
You really can't come off him. You want to give help on the roll, but you come off Kellen Grady. He is such a good shooter in catch-and-shoot situations. Well, you got to be impressed with the way Kentucky has hung in there. You know, Keon Brooks has not had his best half. He's on the bench. Oscar Tshiebwe with those 2 fouls. But watch, Lance Ware rolls hard to the rim. And Wendell Moore just gives a little bit of help on that roll. And that opens it up for Kellen Grady. And Wheeler found him right away. Well, if Kentucky can get a couple stops here, they go into halftime feeling awfully good about how they fought in that first half without really making many shots.
Wheeler doesn't get this one to go, and back comes Duke. Wheeler already, though, even with that miss, he's got 10 points tonight. He's also got 5 assists, and a number of them have been not your garden variety assists. Terrific stuff. Incredible vision for him tonight. And look at the speed that he's getting up the floor. Whoa. And blew a tire, and hopefully he's okay.
Those will be a couple of free throws now. I think that's the 7th team foul. Jalen Blakes needed to shot fake on that last shot. He had a defender running at him. Yeah, just a little trip there. Picked up the first down, though.
Forward progress and all. Boy, his burst of speed, you know, his getting from 0 to 60. He can get there as fast as anybody, can he?
Will shoot one more.
Preseason first team all SEC.
I don't know what Kentucky is shooting in this game, but it can't be much more than 33%. And yet they're just 1 possession down because they've done such a good job on the offensive glass getting second chance opportunities, and they have fought. And I'm really impressed with the fight this team is showing.
Did you peek?
I did not. They were 30% before, and then they just made a shot, so I was just kind of guessing, honestly. I knew it was 30% the last time out.
You nailed it. They are exactly at 33%. Duke, as you saw, is at 52, and it's a 2-point game.
Well, Horn set up top.
Banchero with Toppin on him, tries to go over the top to Williams. And it wasn't exactly how they drew it up, but it still gets him to the free throw line.
Yeah, it didn't look like that was going to work, but Williams still was able to go up and control that. Williams spends a lot of his time. That's a tough pass, but he's stuck with it. Williams spends a lot of his time in the short corner, and that allows him to be a more effective offensive rebounder, and then he can post on the move instead of having to anchor himself in the low post and get in a wrestling match with the defender.
Coming up in the half, it's the Jeep halftime report with Seth and Fonz and Reese. They will look at some anticipated debuts tonight. The Buckeyes survived, and barely, and Ochai Agbaji was dominant in the first game tonight. The Kansas win over Michigan State. He controlled things just like Reese will do with Seth and Fonz.
Reese gets to turn back into a point guard after playing quarterback with the football guys to unveil the college football playoff rankings, where Cincinnati again left out of the top 4 inexplicably when 3 teams above them have a loss.
Toppin. Rebound Banchero, and he waves off Keels. He says, I got it.
This is an important minute 30 to end this half. Can Duke get some separation? Or can Kentucky hang on to get to halftime? 1 possession game.
And Banchero used that off arm to knock down the defender. He gets called for the foul.
Yeah, great job by Jacob Toppin. The ball never moved. The defense, he didn't move the defense, so Banchero was trying to make that move against a set defense instead of making the defense move and then make that move. If you're doing that off a ball reversal, then it's a completely different move.
Jacob Toppin's numbers are somewhat modest in this game, but he has outplayed his numbers. He has been an important player for Kentucky here in the first half.
Important minutes. Oh, they called that on Ty Washington.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be 2 free throws for Trevor Keels. He is a good defender. I mean, he really blew up that exchange and didn't make it easy. It should have been an easy handoff, but able to get in there, and I don't know where the foul was there, honestly. That was just out of, it was just an official out of position. There was no foul there.
That's Trevor Keels on the line.
Washington does get called for the foul. Keels is at the line.
Well, you watch Trevor Keels shoot the ball in practice. Today in a workout, I watched him practice on Friday. He doesn't miss much. He is a good shooter.
And it's another one of these guys just exudes confidence, doesn't he? And again, this is his first game at the collegiate level, and he's playing here at the Garden against Kentucky.
This will not be his last game in the Garden. Yes. I know that.
Grady almost shuffled his feet. Known as a shooter, he'll put it on the deck, but missed the runner. Moore's in attack mode, but good defense by Grady. Baker in the corner. Baker the rebound. Baker going to the line.
Boy, that's a great play by Joey Baker. Didn't make the shot, but able to come up with the second possession, getting the offensive rebound. And that's the kind of play that we talked about with 1.5 minutes left. Is Duke going to be able to create some separation, or can Kentucky keep this to a 1-possession game or less going into halftime? And that kind of play helps you get separation.
Banchero's sitting, a couple of fouls. Mike Krzyzewski doesn't want him to pick up number 3. Same with Oscar Tshiebwe over on the other side for John Calipari. And the lead now 7.
So even if Kentucky able to use most of this 30-second shot clock, Duke's going to get the ball back.
And the Duke fans making it noisy right now here inside MSG. Wheeler stop and go and swatted away by John.
This gave a little hesitation move to try to get it to the other side of the basket. And John able to knock that away with his left hand. And that's why you want to make Xavier Wheeler finish near the basket. Don't come off of shooters. Make him finish that tough 2.
Toppin cross court. Grady. Tough shot.
What a big time shot by Kellen Grady. Well, he has really helped keep Kentucky in this.
Moore finds Roach. Roach smothered by Ware, but Ware came down out of bounds. It'll be Duke ball, but what a block! I don't even if you call that a block. He just caught it.
It looked like a middle blocker in volleyball, just stuffing it. Went after that with 2 hands and just pinned it. That's a big time block. Same alignment when they throw over the top to Keels. He's being guarded by Davion Mintz.
Five seconds. Banchero for 3. Mintz. And that will bring the first half to a close. As expected, intense and close between Duke and Kentucky. It is 39-35 for the Blue Devils at the half. Let's go to Holly Rowe, who's with John Calipari.
Well, Coach, your team is showing a lot of toughness and fight right now, particularly on the rebounding end. How do you describe what you've seen so far?
Well, I'm really happy. I mean, we almost lost 2 exhibition games, so we're really competing. But everybody's got to play with confidence. Fall back on the training. Then you have to think. But they're really fighting. They're diving on the floor. Our guard plays solid. Ty's trying to do a little too much, but I'm telling him to. Okay. So don't blame him. That's me saying I want you to go make plays.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
At the half, Duke 39, Kentucky 35. After the break, it's the Jeep halftime report with Reese, Seth, and the Fonz. Welcome back to the State Farm Champions Classic. Kentucky and Duke, and a very good, very fun first half. Paulo Banchero terrific in the first half for the Blue Devils. He is their high scorer with a dozen, knocked down all 6 of his free throws. And on the other side, the Georgia transfer, Xavier Wheeler, with 12 points and 5 assists to lead the way for the Wildcats, helping to keep them in the game. This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster. Well, of course it is. It's Duke and Kentucky. My voice cracked there.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. I mean, look, there are Knicks everywhere. I mean, NBA players all over the place watching this game tonight. 39-35 Duke over Kentucky. What'd you make of the first half?
Well, Kentucky really hung in there. They shot 6 of 11 from 3. You mentioned Xavier Wheeler, who made plays throughout the first half, 12 points, 5 assists. And one of the guys he found was Kellen Grady, the transfer from Davidson, who knocked down 3 threes. Other than that, it was tough for Kentucky to find open shots, and they weren't able to get to the free throw line. They only had 4 free throw opportunities in that first half. Duke got 17. You know, Duke was 1 of 9 from 3. Other than that, they were getting shots in the paint. They shot well over 50%. The one thing Duke has to do in the second half they didn't do in the first is rebound at a higher level. When Tshiebwe comes back in the game, he was an offensive rebounding machine. Duke got out-rebounded in that first half.
Tshiebwe had 7 offensive rebounds in limited minutes due to foul trouble. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, that's why you guys are the best at this, because that's exactly what Duke said. Assistant coach John Shire said, we have to keep Tshiebwe off the boards. He had 7 rebounds in 11 minutes, and we have to do a better job boxing him out. He said, we also have to run them off the three-point line. Those 6 threes really hurt us. And then when Wheeler drives, they have to have better awareness off the ball. He is doing a great job finding his teammates, dishing off for open looks. They want to do a little bit better job when he drives and kicks.
Well, that's a good point, Holly, because that's why we're talking about the first half. You have to make Xavier Wheeler finish at the basket, because if you come off shooters, he's going to be able to deliver it. You'd rather have Wheeler take a tough 2 over a defender than have him kick it out to someone like Kellen Grady for an open 3. Those are 2 vastly different things.
Ready now for the second half of our Sonic blockbuster matchup. The possession belongs to Kentucky. They are down 4 as we open up the second half. Wheeler over the top, and the lay-in for Tshiebwe.
Really well done. Tshiebwe sets a screen immediately in the middle of the floor, rolls to the basket. Really good set play run by Kentucky to cut this to a 1-possession game.
11th year of this event. Duke 6-4 in the Champions Classic. Kentucky 5-5 over the years. Banchero now with 14.
They put him wherever you want. He just overpowered Keon Brooks. He's limping down the other end, but he can take a bigger guy and take him on the perimeter. He can take a guy that's not quite as strong and post him up.
And again over the top. Wheeler to Tshiebwe.
And what a difference Oscar Tshiebwe makes when he's on the floor. He's just a presence, and that's going to open up things on the perimeter for some open shots if he keeps getting open inside like that.
And a 2-point lead now for the Blue Devils. Wendell Moore from the corner misses the 3, and now Kentucky can tie or take the lead. Wheeler tried to find Tshiebwe again, but stolen away by Keels.
Trying to do too much.
Keels with the offensive foul.
Keels just lowered that shoulder. That was an easy call. But Tshiebwe sets the screen, then looks to set another one, and then just rolls right to the basket. And Wendell Moore probably could have picked him up there and bumped him on the way to the bucket, but he had a clear path. Anytime Tshiebwe sets a screen and rolls hard to the basket, he can drag the defense with him.
Brooks for 3, and Kentucky leads.
Brooks was quiet in the first half, but that looks more like the Keon Brooks that got off to a great start in that Kentucky Wesleyan exhibition.
His first points of the night, Jay, and Kentucky's first lead of the night.
Well, Kentucky's playing with really good energy. Just making a couple plays on offense tends to, you want your team to, light their fire on defense. That's hard to do.
Boy, how under control was Keels there as he navigated his way into the paint.
Well, and it was after he just got an offensive foul, so that's a pretty mature play to come back and make that type of play.
Washington sneaks inside and he knocks it down. This is high-level stuff at both ends.
Yeah, Kentucky playing much more under control and poised to start the second half. Having Tshiebwe on the floor certainly doesn't hurt.
Oh! Wendell Moore elevates and finishes.
Just a miscommunication defensively. Kellen Grady tried to ice that elbow screen, but when you ice it, you have to have defensive help, which he did not have.
That'll be a goaltend on Mark Williams. Count the bucket for Xavier Wheeler.
See, he tries to ice it, but Tshiebwe's got to be down. He was playing like that, like he was going to hedge it. And Kellen Grady knew it was over. I mean, an ice situation means that Tshiebwe's got to be down corralling that ball so you keep it to one side of the floor, but you don't give up the baseline.
Moore again gets a ball screen, can't get the shot off. Tshiebwe down with a rebound. Kentucky has not missed a shot in the second half. 5 for 5, 5 for 6. As Washington had that one knocked away, and Keels with the speed and the strength at the other end.
You know, it's not like Kentucky's turned the ball over a lot. And Wendell Morris looked like he was holding his left hamstring coming down the floor there.
Yeah.
But it's not like Kentucky's turned the ball over a ton. They haven't. But every time they've turned it over, Duke's capitalized.
Deion Brooks flies in for the follow as the lead keeps changing hands. Meanwhile, as Jay said, Moore was reaching down for his hamstring. Something happened with Banchero earlier. He's on the bench and getting attended to right now for Duke. Keels again inside, just creates the space, but can't finish it. And a foul on Theo John.
But when Tshiebwe gets his mitts on that ball, you're not taking it away. Those are like vice grips. He was the best offensive rebounder by percentage in the country 2 years ago at West Virginia. Got 19% of offensive rebound opportunities. Looked like the treatment you were getting at halftime, Dan, after your second game of carrying me.
Walking back and forth to the office getting pizza, I mean, that's not as easy as it sounds. Wheeler again trying to change directions, scoot around defenders, but this time he turns it over. Just a little too much traffic there. Roach lays it in. Duke back on top.
What a great up and down game. These teams are really playing hard.
Washington knew he missed it, followed it, and as a result, nobody's back on Keels. Timeout, Kentucky.
Well, you take a bad shot, it's almost like it was written in stone that those things lead to a run out on the other end. A bad shot is the first pass in your opponent's fast break, and that was an easy fast break for Duke to take the lead.
Paulo Banchero walking to the Duke locker room right now for a little more attention. So whatever's going on, they got to get him inside, and he is not quite ready to get back into this game. Let's see if we can figure out what it might have been.
Looks like a cramping issue, all my years of medical experience, and happy to say that's what it looks like. Hopefully it's nothing more serious than that.
Holly, what do you know?
Well, guys, I've been carefully observing them as they worked on Banchero. He is complaining of soreness in his quads. They took one of those rollers and really rolled out both of his quads and did extensive stretching on the ground, and now they've taken him back to the locker room. Won't be shocked if they're trying to get him more fluids and possibly an IV.
All right, so Banchero out for the time being. Whatever it was with Wendell Moore when he reached down and grabbed his hamstring, he's fine. Apparently he's still in the game. And Kentucky was doing great until about the last 30 seconds. They had taken the lead. They were executing it to both ends, but Duke with a couple of consecutive buckets to go back up by 3. And that is out of bounds, back to Duke.
Yeah, just simple mishandling of the ball.
15-18 to go in the second half. Duke 51, Kentucky 48 here at the Garden.
Rules committee, fix this timeout thing. This is crazy.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Sonic Garlic Butter Bacon Burger. For a limited time only at Sonic. A couple of Hall of Famers, John Calipari, Mike Krzyzewski, and Coach K, of course, beginning his final year as the head coach at Duke. 5 national championships, 12 Final Fours. This is his 42nd season as the head coach at Duke. John Calipari in his 13th season at Kentucky. We touched on it briefly earlier. Of course, John Shire, associate head coach. And you see him, well, he just leaned back. There he is. To Coach K's immediate right. He has been announced as the successor to Mike Krzyzewski. He will take over as the head coach next year. And it seems, Jay, it has been about as seamless as it can go. The recruiting hasn't skipped a beat. And, of course, Shire played at Duke, has coached at Duke for the last 8 years now. And it looks like it has been a very, or will be a very smooth transition.
Yeah, I think it will be. And it's already been smooth in recruiting. And John Shire's got a great recruiting class coming in. Kentucky's matching it recruit for recruit. They just got great news today. Good cut by A.J. Griffin. Griffin's been injured the last couple years, really. It's been a year and a half since he's played. But had a great practice on Friday. I got a chance to see that. Probably his best practice of the year from what I was told. And playing meaningful minutes in this one.
And coming back from a knee injury, actually was a little bit ahead of schedule in recovering, but kind of being phased back into heavier minutes. Moore pulls up from 18. Kind of never really got his feet set on that one. Was stutter stepping into the move.
And he's cramping.
Yeah, he's got an issue too. You're right.
Maybe instead of a hamstring, he might have been cramping a little bit earlier. Looked like he cramped up right there. A good cut there by A.J. Griffin. And now he's got to come out. You know, we're keeping those legs straight. That looks very much like a cramping issue.
Which I guess is the best of all scenarios compared to a more serious injury. It's just going to get it worked out quickly enough to get back into the game. Roach, no, and a good rebound by Toppin. Look at Tshiebwe running. And a block is called on Keels. Well, I'll tell you, the officials have to get up and down the court quickly because these guys are flying.
Yeah, no question, that's a block. Kentucky, when they operate out of the middle of the floor, is getting some good things because Tshiebwe just drags the defense with them. Good offensive rebound.
And is it Tshiebwe over the top?
Looks like it, yeah.
Number 3 on Oscar Tshiebwe. And again, they were without him for several minutes when he picked up his second in the first half. And he's going to have to come out now as Lance Ware replaces him.
They can take him out for a minute or two, but he's got to be back in there. Give him a little bit of rest so he doesn't pick up number 4 right away. But he's not going to be out for long.
Duke right now without Paulo Banchero and Wendell Moore, both out with issues. The Moore one definitely looks like a cramp. Banchero can't be quite as sure, but he is back in the locker room. Keels inside, muscles it up and in.
Just a simple little ball screen. He gets all the way to the rim from high above the left wing, almost near the hash mark. And that's now 17 points for Trevor Keels. Just turns the corner. Davion Mintz bumping him, and he's still able to finish through all that contact and drive through all that contact. That is one strong basketball player in Trevor Keels.
6'4", 221. And now it's A.J. Griffin over the back.
His first quarter, team foul.
Tshiebwe on the bench with 3. Kentucky held its own without him after he picked up that second foul in the first half.
Kentucky's got to get a bucket here. You know, Ty Washington has struggled in this game trying to find open shots. He's forced a few.
Small lineup right now with Washington, Wheeler, and Mintz all in the game. Washington gets the shot off. Got fouled.
Roach reached in, caught him on the arm. That's going to be some free throws. And Maybe for Ty Washington, if he can watch the ball go through the net from the free throw line, that can give him a better feeling on the offensive end. It's been a little bit of a struggle, and it's been mostly a shot selection issue.
That's Ty Washington Jr. at the line for Kentucky. Shooting 2.
Another great early season matchup comes your way Saturday night at 10:30 Eastern time on ESPN2. How about number 5 Texas, Chris Beard at the helm? A lot of incoming talent, a lot of transfers coming into Austin, and then number 1 ranked Gonzaga, featuring among others one of the most interesting players to come into college basketball in a while, Chet Holmgren, who had a big night tonight against Dixie State. It'll be a different test, obviously, against Texas, but Holmgren about 7 feet tall and rail thin, but supremely talented player.
Unbelievably skilled, and what a game Trevor Keels is having. You know, on Get Up this morning with Mike Greenberg, we were talking about Duke, and Paolo Banchero was a big topic of conversation, but I think I had said to Mike Greenberg, you know, we could be talking about Trevor Keels when this game is over, and he's making me look pretty smart in saying that. He is a big-time player.
He's got 19 and give him an assist on the stuff by John, and it's another timeout for Kentucky.
We have a lot of great freshmen in college basketball this year, but add Trevor Keels to that list. Just scores a couple of baskets and then draws 2 defenders and makes a smart play to dump it off to Marquette transfer Theo John for the easy dunk. Boy, with Paolo Banchero, Trevor Keels, I mean, you've mentioned Chet Holmgren from Gonzaga tonight. Holmgren had 14 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and he blocked 7 shots in his debut against Dixie State. All right, there are 2 things I want to ask you about Dixie State. 1, what is the mascot? And 2, where is it?
Was this covered in the morning meeting?
No. I don't know the mascot, and they're in Spokane, Washington. I don't think they've left yet.
Can I? Now wait a minute.
I have no idea where Dixie
That
State
felt like a technicality. Can I phone a friend?
Guys,
Yeah.
I actually know.
Holly, help me.
It's in St. George, Utah.
Oh.
There we go.
And she would know. And she would know. Thank you, Holly.
What about the mascot? Crickets.
Yeah, it does feel.
She's Googling.
How about some of the early season games for the Zags? Texas on Saturday, and then Feast Week, which isn't that far away, a couple of weeks from now. They'll be out in Las Vegas, and they will play UCLA on the Tuesday and Duke on the Friday. How about that week?
Well, Gonzaga always plays a tough non-conference schedule, and everybody will play the Zags because nobody is worried about Gonzaga, hanging a bad loss on them. If you lose to Gonzaga, that's a good loss, not a bad one.
Drew Timme is back. Andrew Nembhard is back. Zags are loaded again.
It's been really hard for Ty Washington to shake whomever has been defending him. Right now it's Trevor Keels.
Wheeler misses the 3. Griffin down with a nice rebound. It was 4 at the half. It's 9 right now for Duke. Boy, just great patience and footwork by Theo John.
Well, Lance Ware was jumping all over the place and just needed to stay between John and the basket. But he gave him an angle.
Ware answers at the other end.
Lance Ware is going to have to play some important minutes for Kentucky this year. And that was a good answer after a rough defensive possession.
Again, remember that Roach and Keels were high school teammates, and each of them says, doesn't matter who brings the ball up, doesn't matter who takes the shot. Close friends and love playing as teammates as Keels drives and draws another foul. Boy, is he going to get to the free throw line a lot.
He just attacks not only with skill, but with great strength. He's such an aggressive playmaker.
Big night for him in his debut.
Classic, but he did it at both ends of the floor. His defense was outstanding, just played a complete game. He was the unquestioned star of the first game between Kansas and Michigan State.
Paolo Banchero out of the locker room and getting ready to check back in. Wendell Moore Jr. now has gone to the locker room. And Trevor Keels has kind of kept things going in the right direction for Duke in the absence of Banchero and Moore in recent minutes.
Duke shooting close to 65% in this second half, largely because they've done such a good job of getting the ball into the paint. They've attacked in transition, but they are really attacking the basket, getting to the free throw line, putting a lot of pressure on this Kentucky defense.
20 points already for Keels in 25 minutes of action. Now 21, he'll sit. Banchero back in. And now it's a really big lineup for Duke. Roach at the point. And then you kind of got Griffin and Baker on the wings, and a Banchero, and then John up front. This is a really big Duke lineup.
Offensive foul
on Xavier Wheeler.
That's the kind of charge that the game should value. A primary defender in legal guarding position, moving his feet to stay in position.
And now there's something going on with Keels. Boy, it looks like maybe cramping issues for multiple players, perhaps, for the Blue Devils as they try to keep enough guys on the floor. And they do have an 11-point lead. They've played great with who they've had out there. Roach switches hands.
Duke just with a simple wing ball screen, a side ball screen, is getting to the rim at will. I mean, they are breaking this Kentucky defense down with simple actions and getting a piece of the paint and breaking down that defense.
They have made their last 5 shots. They lead by 13. And now a travel is called on Jeremy Roach.
Traveling violation. Kentucky basketball. Toppin replaced.
Yeah, that was like a running back running through the line with the defense trying to punch that ball away and finish the play. Didn't have as successful an exchange on the last one. Tried to take the ball down to the baseline side into the defense instead of taking it to the middle where Duke's had so much success.
Duke 13 and 11 last year. Fans may remember they had a positive COVID test during the ACC tournament. They withdrew. They did not play in the NCAA tournament. Matthew Hurt moved on. DJ Stewart moved on. Neither one of them drafted, reloaded with a great freshman class, and also a transfer in John coming in. There is a lot of talent on this Blue Devils team.
A tough shot by A.J. Griffin. Kentucky iced that ball screen, sent it down toward the baseline.
Banchero down with a strong rebound.
Banchero operating out of that elbow where he can get a one-on-one opportunity. Wow. He's just got it all. And just a little jab step, pull-up jumper. You get frozen by the jab step, he just shoots over you.
14 and 6 now for Banchero. And now he's guarding Wheeler. Got caught on a switch and stayed with the 5'9" point guard.
Yeah, just stays in front of him.
Brooks forces up a tough shot. Great box out by John.
Yeah, Duke's done a better job rebounding in the second half. Multiple white shirts boxing out. When you play against a team like Kentucky, Duke has to have all 5 guys on the defensive glass, going right back to that play they ran before. Open side, elbow catch.
Banchero again.
That's NBA right there. Just an elbow isolation and forget it.
And he's cramping up again, it looks like. He's reaching down and grabbing both legs right now. Wheeler almost lost it. Mintz saves it and floats it up and in. And Banchero grimacing noticeably as he jogs up the floor. Keels is back at the table getting ready to come back in. Roach turned it over.
Roach had turnover problems most of last year.
Brooks knocks it down. It looked like Banchero, Jay, was trying to commit a foul just to get a stoppage. He needs to get out of the game, it looks like. Yeah, they're going to call a timeout. Mike Krzyzewski sees it, and a timeout is called. Banchero's got to come out of the game. Boy, it makes it all that much, even much more impressive how he is playing, making these kinds of moves, knowing he's not 100%.
Gives a little jab step, freezes Keon Brooks, shoots right over the top. Then here, going against two defenders, the fadeaway. That is a big-time player, Paolo Banchero.
Well, Friday college basketball action continues, and it's another doozy. Villanova at UCLA, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Time on ESPN2. Jay and I very excited to be out in Los Angeles for that one. Paolo Banchero during the break getting worked on again. Clearly it is a cramping issue as it keeps coming and going. He's drinking some Gatorade right now, just put it down on the table, and he is going to go back into the game. One last swig, and away you go.
Well, both he and Trevor Keels have been absolutely spectacular in this game.
And Wendell Moore is back as well, so it's kind of been a revolving door with a couple of the Duke players. And right now, Moore's in the game, Banchero's in the game, Keels is in the game. So all three guys who have been hobbled at one point or another are back in the game at the moment. Maybe hobbled a little strong, but have cramped up and have had to come out of the game at one point or another. Moore. And Kentucky ball. What does Kentucky have to do with the offensive end, Jay, to cut into this deficit?
Well, I think they've had some good opportunities when they've used Tshiebwe in pick and roll situations in the middle of the floor because he can drag the defense with him. But they've had some open shots and haven't been able to get them to go in this second half. And when Tshiebwe sets the screen up top, whether it's angled or flat, when he rolls to the basket, he can get some defenders to go with him. Opens up the offensive glass.
And he converts. It's down to 9.
And Duke right now not wanting to come off corner shooters. So you can get some traction in the middle of that floor.
Banchero the kick. John. Into the chest of Tshiebwe. And the rebound to Grady. Kentucky can cut into the deficit again. Nice pass inside, but good defense by John. Wheeler, beautiful feed to Tshiebwe.
Well, your instinct is to help, but when you come off Tshiebwe, Wheeler's going to find him. You just have to make him finish that. Make him take the really tough two.
And Big Blue Nation making the noise right now in the Garden.
Big defensive possession here for Kentucky.
Banchero, no. Tshiebwe the rebound, and did they get John for a foul, or did they get, yeah, they got Theo John for the foul.
Just the body bump. Tshiebwe was going to get that rebound, just bumped him with his chest. Oh, he's grabbing him too. One thing, Kentucky's made some good plays in this game, but one thing they've done more than anything is they have fought. Really impressive by Kentucky to keep getting off the deck and coming back.
John Calipari hollering out a play from the sideline. Tshiebwe driving on Williams.
Got to take that. Yeah.
Boy, he is fortunate to get it back, and he's got a chance for a three-point play.
Stuck with it, went up with the left hand, got the contact, and finished the play. Williams was able to discourage Tshiebwe from taking that initial shot, which he needed to put up. But just a little step through and went right into him, and John Calipari loves the second effort and the fact that Tshiebwe did not give up on the play.
Let's bring in Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, it's an amazing story, but Oscar Tshiebwe is here playing in New York City tonight by the grace of a New York City cab driver. He was flying from the Democratic Republic of the Congo through Istanbul to New York City for the first time ever. Didn't speak English and missed his flight. And guys, the New York City cab driver got him to a bus station to take a bus to Charlotte, where he was able to get to his high school. Thank you to the New York City cab drivers, because Oscar Tshiebwe is making you proud tonight.
What a wonderful story. Thank you very much, Holly. He certainly is. He's got 15 points, 14 rebounds. Kentucky's on a run. And he's got another offensive rebound, Tshiebwe does. How about 15 and 15? Well, and look, 10 of the 15, Jay, offensive.
Look where he was positioned, on the opposite side of where the shot went up.
Kentucky fans wanted goaltending. They don't get the call.
Mark Williams took that right out of the air. Big time block.
4-point lead, Duke.
Got Toppin with the foul on Banchero. Just had his arm wrapped around him in the post.
Foul, Kentucky.
I think that's okay.
Jacob Toppin is
still going up, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's okay. He's just incredibly long and timed it very well. Roach gets free. Tshiebwe won't have anything of it. Swats it away. Boy, there are some talented big guys in this game, aren't there?
And they have played big in this game.
Banchero somehow gets it to Moore. Every rebound is a battle in this one. So how you liking the first night of the college basketball season?
Hasn't it been intense? It's just great to have the fans back.
Yeah.
This arena's been electric from the opening tap of the Kansas-Michigan State game to now.
Keels. We have seen it time and time again tonight from the freshman.
18 years old. He's not just an adult, he's a man.
He has 23. Wheeler blocked by Williams again. Keels. Moore has it stripped away, but it's still Duke ball.
Toppin was trying to say it went off of his leg. That is a strong drive. And look at the adjustment at the rim to avoid the block shot. And then Mark Williams just pins that up against the bucket.
I don't know who's been more impressive between Keels and Banchero. R.J. Barrett's loving it.
Out of bounds underneath and a line. And just coming right down the lane from the top is Banchero.
3 years ago, you and I did a Duke-Kentucky game in this event in Indianapolis. And R.J. Barrett, in his Duke debut, scored 33 points. Zion Williamson added 28, leading Duke to a lopsided win over Kentucky. Banchero and Keels may not be quite at the R.J. Barrett, Zion Williamson in terms of their production tonight, but they have both had tremendous evenings.
Well, and you can see the free throw disparity. Duke's been attacking the paint at will. Well, another offensive rebound for Oscar Tshiebwe.
Grady can't get loose. Mintz can't get loose.
Duke's defense has been pretty impressive on the ball.
Wheeler keeps the dribble alive. And what's the call? It's a tie-up, and the possession arrow gives it to Duke. 3:47 to go in this one. Duke leads by 9. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Dollar General, where you save time and money every day. It's time to check out our assist of the game, brought to you by State Farm.
And we're going with Trevor Keels, so going off the side pick and roll with Mark Williams. He gets his defender on his hip. Now it's 2-on-1 against Tshiebwe. He just lobs it up to the basket. And Mark Williams able to control it with his right hand. And then Keels, this is how strong he is, going up against a really strong big guy in Oscar Tshiebwe, able to draw that contact and still finish the play. And then on the defensive end, out of a floppy set, he's able to guard Ty Washington and really disrupts this play. Now, he wound up calling a phantom foul on Ty Washington. I didn't think that was a foul, but the fact was he blew up that handoff and disrupted the play and wound up causing that turnover.
Most points by a freshman in his debut in the Coach K era. We talked about that game. RJ Barrett against Kentucky in Indianapolis in this event 3 years ago. He had 33. Zion Williamson had 28. In 2017, Marvin Bagley with 25. Tonight, Trevor Keels 23, and Paolo Banchero, he'd be next, 21. So huge nights for two of the Duke freshmen in this game.
Banchero and Keels have combined for 44 points, 16 of 26 from the field.
61.5%.
Pretty good. It didn't take you any time to get that calculator out of your pocket, too.
And with 3.5 to go, Duke with the ball and a 9-point lead. A touch for Keels.
Posting up Xavier Wheeler.
And nothing Wheeler can do. 25 for Keels.
That's just Duke going after the mismatch and forcing the smaller 5'9" Xavier Wheeler to guard the much bigger and stronger Trevor Keels in the post. That's the definition of a mismatch defensively.
Tshiebwe didn't want to take the shot. The length of Williams was there. Washington gets the bounce. But trading baskets not good enough right now for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Kentucky has to get some stops, and I think you can bet on a little bit of full court pressure as we get in the last 2 minutes. But Duke's going to use some clock. They're not taking the air out of it, but they're not in a hurry either.
Keels from the elbow, a little bit strong. Kentucky ball. Wheeler's in a hurry.
Tshiebwe's gotten every rebound in this game. It's incredible.
When's the last time you saw a guy have 11 offensive rebounds at you know, at a high major level against this kind of competition?
I'm sure I've seen it, I just can't recall.
Yeah. 15 points, 17 rebounds, and he'd have more than that, but he picked up 2 fouls kind of midway through the first half and had to sit for, felt like 7-8 minutes.
Yeah, it was at least that.
Choose 1 and 1.
And Banchero can add to his totals.
Yeah, we have a lot of returning talent in the game. And whether it's been transfers, whatever, we've got a lot of great experienced players. But man, when you see a super talent, you know, it doesn't matter how old they are.
Yeah.
And Paolo Banchero and Trevor Keels, those guys are 18 years old. They are super talents, and they've led the way in this one. They've been the best players on the floor. Age is just a number.
Not in our case. Tshiebwe right into the chest of Williams, can't finish. And the battle between Banchero and Tshiebwe on the deck. Possession arrow will give it to Kentucky, and the officials doing a good job getting in there quickly to make sure nothing escalated there. If you're John Calipari, what do you take from this game? If you go on to lose this game, what do you take out of this one?
That your guys compete. I mean, Kentucky has really competed in this game. They can play much better, shoot the ball much better, but they have really fought and competed.
Didn't see C.J. Frederick tonight, coming back from a knee injury. Terrific shooter, transfer from Iowa. He will be a factor, obviously, as Tshiebwe lays it in. Keels again with the great body control, but he missed the layup on that one.
You don't have to have a three here, but you want to get something going toward the basket and quickly. Now, Kentucky's taking too much time here.
Tshiebwe will take it, knew he missed it, followed it, and of course he got it back. His 19th rebound. Wheeler lays it in, and it is down to 6. Still a minute to go.
Tshiebwe's been like Moses Malone in this game.
Moore. Wow, tough finish.
Well, that's likely ball game there to be able to turn it into a 3-possession game.
Grady misses the 3. Moore the rebound. Will Kentucky foul? Moore lost it. Boy, he was going for the lob to Williams and turned it over. Shot clock turned off. 20 seconds left. And another turnover, and that should do it. Lots of talent on both sides. And memorable performances in their debuts by Paolo Banchero and Trevor Keels. Keels and then Wendell Moore both went over and just hugged R.J. Barrett sitting just to our left. He's loving it as Duke wins it 79-71.
Big time competitive game by two teams that are going to be heard from before this is all over.
Mike Krzyzewski with win number 1,098 at Duke in his 42nd and final season as head coach of the Blue Devils. It begins with the W, and I'm sure one, Jay, that he will savor.
Yeah, Reese Davis pointed out, unless Duke plays in the NIT, likely his last game in the Garden. I thought that was a pretty good line.
All smiles for R.J. Barrett. Holly Rowe is with Mike Krzyzewski.
Well, Coach Krzyzewski, you love bringing your team to this building, and tonight's game didn't disappoint. What was it like to see your young guys fighting so hard out there?
Well, it's an end-of-season game. It's a big-time game. John's team's really good, so physical. And then we had at least four guys getting cramps. So A.J. Griffin gave us a big lift. And Trevor made some amazing plays. And those 2 blocks that Mark, a lot of our guys grew up today.
You know, I know we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but this seems like it's a good and loaded team for you. How exciting is it as you watch them out there battling?
Well, it's really, we're real young. And so when Kentucky made that run, a lot of teams would fold, and we got tough again. I'm really proud. I'm very, very proud of them.
Coach, you said that you wanted to soak in every moment this season. Look around you. You heard this crowd. What was this like for you?
No, it's great. Well, this is a magical place, and we had so many Duke fans here. And you know, Holly, I've been so lucky to be in these type of moments with really good players, and they've made me look pretty good.
They really did. Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
Well, he has lost his voice, but not his spirit or his enthusiasm or his appreciation for a night like this as Duke beats Kentucky to wrap up a great night of basketball here at the Garden. For Jay and Holly, I'm Dan Schulman. Thanks for watching SVP Sports Center right now.